Hello, welcome to another Watchwise. Today what we're going to do is a review of the SLA025. This particular watch is a recreation of the 1968 Seiko divers piece. It's a 50th year anniversary, and to mention, it is an award-winning watch. It won the Grand Prix, which is known as the Oscars of the watch world, in 2018 for the sports category. So classed as the best sports watch of 2018. Stay tuned in the video because we will also do the announcement of the Seiko Alpinist winner for the 1000 subscribers landmark giveaway. Apologies, it's a bit late. I've been super busy with lots of things, and we've got a very exciting time coming up very shortly with Basel World. I will be there, so make sure to say hello, and I'll be presenting product to a number of different people. We'll do a review of pieces and the overall collection that's coming out for Seiko and Grand Seiko post Basel World. So once I'm back in the UK, we'll have some great clips and information ready for you guys. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification button so you get the information first. Without further ado, let's move on to the actual review. So the SLA025, or the 1968 recreation piece, as I said, it stays very true to the original 1968 piece, which is really nice. The case is quite a big watch. It sits quite high up on the wrist as well. That is because it's a 44.8mm case and has a thickness of 15.7. That being said, it is made as a robust diver and practical for the actual job. What you will notice with this, however, is it has very thin lugs, and the actual case itself has a beautiful finish to it because it utilizes the Zaratsu finishing that is usually reserved for Grand Seiko. The case, interesting when you turn it over, it has a slim profile, which means that there's less surface area actually sat on your wrist, and on the sides there's a beautiful mirrored finish. I could see myself in there. As I said, due to that Zaratsu finishing. It has the crown at 4 o'clock and a raised bezel insert which is higher than the domed sapphire crystal. The dial looks very deep and has a gilt matte appeal to it, especially when it's got that domed glass with anti-reflective and the raised bezel. It looks very deep and makes the Lumi Bright hour markers and minute and hour hand pop out really, really nicely. It has that gold detailing on the dial and is wonderfully finished off, and one of the key differences between the original to this one is those finer details. The watch is a 300-meter divers, and you will notice there's no helium escape because of the way the watch is cased and the seals that are used. It doesn't actually require a helium escape, which is very interesting. This particular watch, it does come in at a high price point, but it does also utilize the 8L55 movement, which is a high beat movement. So this watch runs at a frequency of 36,000 vibration per hour, or 10 beat, or 5 hertz. And with that, because that hairspring is spinning at a faster rate, it is less susceptible to shock, which is ideal for a diver's piece. With that, it does maintain a 55-hour power reserve, which, along with the unidirectional bezel, I'm sure is more than enough for your diving purposes. Moving on from the case and the watch itself, we will go on to the strap. So this one comes with a silicone strap, which is very versatile, and lightweight and very flexible, and makes it very comfortable wearing. It has a waffle kind of design on the front, and when you turn it over onto the back, similar to the case back, it has a raised profile, so less of a surface area is actually sitting on your wrist as you're wearing it, because we all know how silicone straps can be in that heat when they're tight on, especially if you get a sweaty wrist like me. The buckle on this is a really nice metal buckle and is actually beveled at the edges and finished very nicely. Overall, this watch is a really stunning, beautiful piece, and people have really loved that it stays true to the original, and it's absolutely stunning that a piece that can stay so true to the original with upgrades can actually win an award in Geneva for the best sports world 2018, when it's 50 years after the original. So it's great to know that these vintage style pieces still have a big place in today's market, and I for one am definitely a fan of vintage style watches. This particular watch comes in limited edition of 1,500, so it's very limited, and if you get the chance to see it with it being so limited, do if you can. Without further ado, let's now move on to the Seiko Alpinist giveaway. So what we did with this was we did a video, and we actually did it as a roulette table. So we split everyone's name into 3 groups, spanned the table, kept whoever was in, and then separated everyone who was still remaining into different numbers. Whoever then's number came up won the Seiko Alpinist. The video didn't come out quite as we would have wanted in terms of the actual visuals of it, so we will add some clips of that, but obviously stay true to the winner of that particular outcome. Before I announce the winner, I'm sorry to keep stalling on this for you, but I actually asked everyone to leave a funny comment. So I want to actually acknowledge a few and read them out before I announce the winner. One that I particularly liked is from someone who we have mentioned previously on this channel because he supported ours, but I actually really liked his comment on this, and he said, "My biggest fear is that if I die, my wife sells my watches for the prices I told her I paid for them." So massively under market price, I imagine, for the watches that you've got. My number one favourite, however, is quite a simple one, and maybe because I like daft humour being from Yorkshire. Comes from Gregor Luzar, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. He says, "Knock knock, who's there?" The postman with your Seiko Alpinist. Thank you for that one. Right, so the winner of the Seiko Alpinist, the moment you've all been waiting for, came to John. So John, J-O-N, we will get in touch with you as to how we can get your Seiko Alpinist to you. Hopefully you don't live too far away. And I had a look to see what comment you actually left, and it was actually reasonably funny as well. So John said, "Why did the man throw his watch out the window? He wanted to see time fly." So thank you for that, John, and we will be throwing the Seiko Alpinist your way. For anyone that didn't win, I'm sorry. I wish I could give one to everyone. I can't, but we will do giveaways in the future, and thank you again for all your support, and make sure to subscribe, hit the notifications, and we'll see you in the next video.